Most 19-year-olds don't buy dilapidated wooden boats, but April and Josh were straight at it, turning this beautiful World War II tugboat into their new home. Welcome back to Tug It Out, and today we're going to do a full boat tour, including the bilges, the bathroom, the head of the boat, the wheelhouse, our technology, the anchor bay, all around the side of the boat, and we're also going to share lots of history. Also, here comes a nice yacht into the marina. Starting in the wheelhouse of our World War II tugboat, we've got a pretty good view of the front of the boat, and we've got some great gadgets on board. We've got our Furuno navigation, we've got our Navman fish finder, our tracker, our low rants, which gives us our speed and our depth, and we have our autopilot, as well as all our lighting for throughout the boat, accessories, our bilge pumps, freshwater pump. This horrible vinyl, we're going to be pulling it up soon. But yeah, it's a great space. However, if you come down underneath, you're going to see what's happening downstairs. As you can probably see, there are more chewed wires in here than an entire building. The rats absolutely decimated all the pipes in here. There's a leak in the hydraulics for the steering because they chewed through that. But yeah, so this will be a separate video fixing all this. As you'll see right now, right here was an old terrible place sink with nowhere for the water to go. So I ripped that out. I moved it from here back to here, so we've got more room going downstairs. And I'm going to create a beautiful sort of roundish bench to go here, because there's nowhere to sit when you're in the wheelhouse. So if I just want to sit down for a second, you know, check my phone whilst we're waiting for some traffic to move by, which happens a lot here in Hobart, waiting at the Tasman Bridge for traffic to go by, I can have a seat. Now, let's move down. Throughout the boat, we have a gorgeous wooden flooring, but there's a few patches. It has great space in here, some great roofing and some great lighting as well, which all needs to be rewired. As you'll see now, I ripped out the kitchen yesterday, ready to put a new bench in. Also a one basin sink, because we're not going to be using that much water. We've got some great shelving. I'm going to put some more up here. And again, underneath, we've got our oven, which will go down here. We've got plumbing going on in here, which again is all chewed out by rats, so we'll have to go through that. And all the drawers are lockable and hingeable, so they don't slide out. Then we have our dining area or our lounge room. Again, a great bench, some great space underneath it. We've got a nice upholstered seat that's going to be made to go around, and some overhead storage as well. With our television, is going to go right here in this wall on a bracket that we can bring out. All our windows are plastic glass. They're not actual glass, which is pretty nice. And they're all tinted as well, as you can sort of see in there, which makes it much better on the sunny days of Australia. We also have a little skylight to get downstairs. For the back deck whilst we're here, it's a really great space. Heaps of lighting on the side. We're removing all the bulwarks, redoing all that. We've got rod holders. This is where we plug in our electricity as well. I'm going to hatch down to the transom storage. And I'm going to create a beautiful bench top that's going to come across here with a liftable hatch there to get down our ladder, just to be able to come out here and have breakfast with some bar stools underneath it. This whole deck will be laid down to the original, which I'll show you when we go downstairs. I absolutely love the staircase in this boat. It's got heaps of space and the stairs are really sturdy. Let's go downstairs and have a look. And welcome downstairs. This is where our bed is going to be. We can fit a queen size in here with the corners cut off, or a double with side space, you know, to put our feet on. We've also got drawers built in to either side. We're probably going to repaint this a different colour. And then we've got our skylight, which is openable. In here will be our spare bed, in case anyone wants to come and stay over. It's absolutely disgusting now. Just have a look at this video of all the crap that was in here.
We've got our main bed here.
And then here, this side here, we're going to be removing this. This was like another bed. We're taking the floor down, and this is going to be our wardrobe with a rail running along the top. And this gorgeous porthole mirror, April in there. Now, let's move down to the engine room, the head, and what will soon be our library and gaming room. As we come in, this here is our engine room in here. Again, another rack for storage in here. And some great portholes, which are leaking like crazy. In here is our hot water. We've got a terrible hot water cylinder in here with all the wires chewed up by rats. But it's alright, we'll get around to fixing that. The bathroom is our next video. This is listed on the plans as a workshop. However, we're going to convert it. With the boards going down, paint the floor white. This is going to be our library, conversation room, where we've got our desktops, our office. And in here is our bathroom. Welcome to the head of the boat. As you can see, it's pretty spacious. We've got a full standing shower here. We're going to replace this shower and have a square bit just here, so it comes straight down onto our heads. We can stand here freely. This is a sink that we're going to be removing, our basin. It's going to be going into here. I'll put a nice space along there. We need access down here so we can open the water stream for our engine. And then if we have a look in here, you won't be able to see much due to the light, but this is our hole going down to the transom and then up to the bow of the boat. Let's go into the engine room. Follow me. We go through here. All of this is heat-proof walls, and it's also soundproofing as well. We've got a great space in here. Let's start with our exhaust, which is heavily muffled, and we'll show you outside as well how thick the piping is to go out. You really cannot hear a thing unless you're down here in this library of ours. We've got some great storage in here as well, going into the side of the hull, which we'll have a look at soon. We've got our two big batteries down here. These are the starter batteries, 210 AH each, and then we've got our house batteries, as well as our charging port for the batteries, which will soon be hooked up to solar panels. So we've got a 6-cylinder Detroit diesel engine with what we're aware of is quite low hours. It starts absolutely beautifully. As you would have saw in our first and second video, however, we don't have forward gear. We can go backwards, we can go neutral, we just can't go forwards at the moment, which leads us to our gearbox. We've got an Allison GM hydraulic gearbox, which has to be pulled out. So in a couple months when we're out of the water, we will go through to the dry dock and they're going to rip out the dining table and take it straight out of there and give it a rebuild. Our Detroit diesel is a 2-stroke 6-cylinder 250 horsepower engine, accompanied by an Allison GM hydraulic gearbox. So if we look down, we can see where our rudder exits the hull. Now this is our packing gland. This is currently leaking and there's not much we can do about that. We can't tighten it. It's just simply how it is, and we will replace that when we're out of the water. So let's go have a look in the transom. But before we get up there, just look up. That's our emergency exit with also storage underneath that bench. Let's go into the transom. Welcome to the transom of the boat. As you can see, there's a lot of wood in here. The hull is mainly made from Oregon timber, with a lot of the breast hooks made from grown tea tree. Everywhere, we've got thick beams holding up the deck and holding the boat together. We have 1,300 litres of fuel that we can hold in here, held in 2 tanks, one on each side of the boat, with a valve in the middle which shuts them off to each other, have them separately or have them joined. We've also got our water, which comes out over there and over there. So if the boat's driving over, it gets sucked up into the water hole and it goes into our water storage or water coolant for the engine. As you can see, there's a bit of water in here, and that is from the horrid leaking decks. Welcome to the starboard side of our boat. This is where we've started ripping up the deck. You can see we've got a lot of materials from the horrid front deck Chucked into our tinny. So, a lot of our beams are pretty good. It's just the deck that needs to be replaced. Let me show you the old deck. Under here is our old deck. It goes all the way around. We're going to be removing this horror top deck, assessing the bottom deck, and seeing where we go from there. The way it's looking is it's going to be ply, fiberglass, and then in a few months after that, we'll lay some beautiful deck. As we make our way up, we've got our engine room windows here. Here's our exhaust. Reinforced, we're not going to get any heat from that from the outside, and there's no heat going into the wall from it either. As we keep moving up, we're going to our wheelhouse from here, and again, more deck that we've ripped up. Our bedroom in there. We've got our 24-volt Muir's anchor winch. It's fantastic. We have 2 anchors on board. Our chain runs down here into this hole, down into our anchor chain holding, which is huge. At the moment, we've got our tow ropes in there and our tarps, but there's also heaps and heaps of chain in there. We're not too sure how much anchor meters we've got on board because we haven't tested it yet, and it's not written anywhere. But let's go see if the anchor drops. As we come over here, our breaker on. And then with this button, we go down. If you follow us on Facebook, you would have seen that here, across this whole part, was a raised deck, level with this. We ripped it back to bring out this. This is our bed below here, our skylight. And now it's a seating area for us when we're underway. On both sides of the boats, we have access to the wheelhouse. It's great, but it's a bit of a drop. We'll have to live with that, however. As we make our way down, both sides we have these awesome navigation lights. We also have some on top on the mast as well, which we'll have a look at later. All along here we have lighting, as you can see, via this broken part. And ventilation downstairs. This is where our sink empties at the moment and where the water, when we hook up, goes into, but we'll move that to the back of the boat. Both sides as well have a gate that we can open. Moving down, you can see there's a step here. On the last one, there wasn't a step because we ripped it out. We're ripping all this out soon and leveling it one level with new wood. I forgot to mention that in here are holding tanks. So if we catch some fish, in they go. As you can see, our transom is in pretty bad condition. This little door here opens and we can use this ladder to get on and off. We'll be replacing all of this plywood to the very front of the boat. This here is our bilge hole. This is where the water comes out that goes into the bilge pump. Since we've owned the boat and gotten rid of things and emptied it, the water level has lowered, as you can see, and now she's sitting higher, which is marvelous. As we're on the starboard side of the boat, we've started trying to remove the plywood. However, they've done a really bad job of attaching it. Lots and lots of glue, but not watertight glue. So we'll be replacing all of this plywood again. But if we come down a bit and have a look, you can see all these cracks along the planks, all in here. From the inside, you can see the light coming out. That's because the planks have dried out and they're separated, and there's no caulking in between them. So we're going to re-caulk all these planks and also repaint the entire hull. And now, up on the roof. Welcome to the roof of our tugboat. It's a great space for solar panels, which is what we're going to be putting on top of here. We've got our exhaust exit here, which has a water cap on them. A lot of them don't, which I find bizarre, but this one sure does. Probably do with a clean. Up here, we've got our Faruno, our Lowrance, our radar, tracker, autopilot, our satellites, and our antennas for the radio. We've got our wind speed and our 360-degree white light for when we're anchored or just for in general. It's a really great space, and again, we will be putting solar panels up here. This was originally a top floor. This was had a water cannon on top, and it was also like the Southern Explorer next to us. Seating area, steering, but just have a look at this gorgeous view at the marina. Apanie's original name was Combara, built in 1945 and retired from service in 1978. Apanie was originally registered as lost after that time, until 2011 when a couple found her at a graveyard and brought her back to life. Then in 2025, again she faced the scrapyard, and that's when me and April swooped in to save her, and now she's going to become our dream home. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. There might not be a video next week because I'm going away on a cruise and I'm leaving April behind. Next video though, it'll either be the deck being removed or us working in the bathroom. We're probably going to be doing both at the same time, but obviously releasing one video at a time. I hope you liked it. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing, and head over to our Facebook for updates. I'll see you guys later.
And here goes Josh off on his last load for the day. He's taken off all the firewood to